Hey y'all, Chef IrixGuy here, and I want to post a follow-up review for the Masterbuilt electric smoker. Now subscribe to my channel, ring that bell, and check out my Masterbuilt electric smoker video playlist, and you can see everything from my initial unboxing video to the assembly video to present being today is July the 22nd of the year 2023. So what are my opinions in regards to the Masterbuilt electric smoker after using it for, and I don't want to misquote, I think I've had it, have I had it for over a year? I think I have. You know, subscribe, check out my Masterbuilt electric smoker video playlist, and check out my unboxing video, because the unboxing video will tell you exactly when I got this smoker. So let's talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. This smoker, the size for me is perfect, and I think most of y'all will find that, you know, you can go larger, you can go smaller smoker. I think most of y'all will find this to be perfect. Unless you do a tremendous amount of smoking for a tremendous amount of people, this is probably large enough. Right now I'm only using one of the racks. I've got about a 10-pound pork butt in there right now smoking. And I've got plenty of additional space. So that gives you an idea of how much space you've got in this. Now, one of the things that's cool, and since I was only using 2 racks, and actually I only ended up using one because I cut my butt in half, and it was about a 10-pound butt, so I actually put it on the same level. So it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4 grates. So I've got 2 grates in there now. I've got 2 that I took out just for the heck of it, because why keep the grates in there? It's just something else I have to clean after I finish smoking. Speaking of cleaning the Masterbuilt electric smoker is super convenient. And one thing I want to encourage you to consider, and by the way, you can expand this video's description and then click the link there to find the smoker and all of the accessories like I use. But I encourage you to consider the smoker like I use here. And again, it's linked within this video's description. I know you go out to a big box retail store, whatever, and they've got all the different size smokers, different colors, different brands. Some of them have fancy windows, and you're like, man, I got to get a window, but you know, it costs more. You know, should I really get it? I will tell you, even if one with a window was a lesser price, I didn't want to use the E word, the expensive word. And by the way, you'll find this to be very affordable. Check the link within this video's description. But even if the ones with windows were less expensive, which they're typically not, I would stay away from the smoker with a window. The reason being is that after you smoke, especially if you're doing what I'm doing now, pork butt, 24 hour or so process, probably the last thing you want to deal with after you've pulled your butt or your butts or whatever out of your smoker is have to take the time to thoroughly clean the inside of the glass while the smoker is still warm. You probably don't want to do that, and you probably won't, and probably what will happen is that you'll neglect the interior of your smoker's glass, and the glass will become so fogged up that you can't even see through it anyway. So with that being the case, why did you buy an electric smoker with the glass? Well, I know why you bought it, because you wanted to look cool. You know, maybe you're a type person, maybe you're not even good at smoking, but you had to get the electric smoker because you had to look cool. You know, people coming over to the crib, man, it's like, oh dude, he's got a smoker with a glass window. Or if he didn't get it, he or she didn't get it, got to be politically correct. If they got one without a glass window, then they're like, well, they just cheapened up, they didn't get a glass window. The reality is this: I could be cooking in an old oil barrel that I cut in half and rigged into a smoker, and I could produce better food than a lot of people could produce in a, let's just say, a multi-$1,000 fancy barbecue smoker. Bottom line is this smoker, regardless of your budget, regardless of your years or months of experience with smoking, this is easy to learn. One of the things that's so great about it is that from an ease of use perspective, all you've got is this control panel up here. You've got the temperature and you've got the time. And by the way, I always set the time for the maximum, which is around 24 hours or so. because if you did set it for, say, an hour, when that hour hit, it would turn off. So for that reason, I always set it for the maximum, because I'm doing long smokes and I'm monitoring my smokes with the wireless probe like I'm using, and you can find it linked within this video's description too. I'll stop saying that, because everything that I'm talking about here, you can expand this video's description and click the links there to find it. So you monitor your ambient temperature and your meat temperature with that. Although this has a thermometer in it, I always use my external device, and that's not saying anything negatively about Masterbuilt. That's just how I prefer to smoke, because regardless of what I'm smoking in, I use my own temperature monitoring device to keep things consistent. So you can control the temperature up here. I typically do 225 Fahrenheit for my smokes. You can go different temperatures if you want to. It's all controlled through this dial pad up here. And then you got the timer. I mean, it's pretty much a foolproof design. On the inside, you've got a water pan, which is super important. You just put, all you really have to put in it is water. I choose to toss in some garlic, chopped garlic, clove, and onion to further enhance the aromatics. Because with water, you're pretty much just getting moisture control, but you can use garlic, you can use onion, you could use apples, chopped apple. You could use all kinds of stuff, put it in your water pan. Experiment with that, because those aromatics will further enhance the flavor of your smoked meats, especially when you're doing something like I'm doing a pork butt for 24 hours or so. It's just that time, those hours that are going by while that water pan and the aromatics are just penetrating the meat with all of those additional flavor profiles. So very easy to use. Cleanup is super simple. Cleanup, once it cools down, notice I said cools down, I don't have a glass window in this. I hate electric smokers that have glass windows. I hate them. I've owned one, but I hate them because it's just something you feel obligated to clean. And I don't want to show off my meat while it's smoking anyway, because ultimately all that matters to me is what the finished product tastes like. So I don't care if I'm smoking for average Jane, average Jill, or if I'm smoking for the elite. It doesn't matter. I could care less what people think about my cooking device. This is very affordable, but the results are exceptional. So there's no reason for me to spend more for an electric smoker. And there's probably no reason for you to spend more for an electric smoker. I mean, even if you're, let's just say you're Jeff Bezos's lost child or something, and you're worth just a few $100 million, you would probably still want to get this this smoker. I don't think, even if money was no issue, I know I would still stick with this smoker. Cleanup is super simple. Once it's cool, you don't burn your hands, man. Once it's cooled down, you just take out the water pan. You take out the racks that you used. As you noticed earlier, I took the racks that I wasn't going to use out so I don't have to clean them afterwards. So you take out the water pan, the racks that you used, and then there's a drip tray in the bottom. Take that out. Take it inside, clean it up in the sink, or and dry it off, or maybe just put it in your dishwasher. I clean it up in the sink, throw it in the dishwasher. When it comes out, it's dry. I put it back in the smoker, and then I cover the smoker up. I store my smoker outside, have since I bought it. Zero issues from storing it outside, but I do cover it, and you can expand this video's description and click the link there to find the cover like I use also, because that's important if you are storing it outside to keep it covered. Now, if you want to get fancy, you can get legs for this. Legs that have wheels if you want to roll it around. This thing for me, and I'm not a big macho dude. I mean, I haven't worked out in a while, man. My muscles are pretty weak, but I'm able to pick it up. But if you wanted the convenience of rolling it instead of picking it up, if you do, you may not even have to move it wherever you're using it outdoors. And by the way, this is for outdoor use only, because it produces carbon monoxide, a dangerous smoke. You don't want that indoors. It could kill you. So, but if you store it outside and use it where you store it, then maybe you don't even want to get the wheels. Maybe you do. That would be one accessory that I would encourage you to consider if you do plan on moving it around. The only reason I moved it around is because I keep it beside the house, but I'd rather have it here so I can see I'm up here close to the Appalachian Ocean. The Appalachian Ocean. And I got to have that view, and that's the only reason I move it. It's just aesthetic. There's no real reason for me to move it. It's just, you know, I keep it beside the house while it's not in use, and then I pick it up and move it about 5 feet to there when I smoke. So the wheels, the legs of the wheels, that may be an option, an accessory you want to consider. Also, and you've seen it in my other videos, I do have they call it the slow smoker attachment, often referred to as the cold smoker attachment. So if you want to do cheeses, that's something you will definitely need. But if you just want to have the ability to replenish your wood chips less frequently, the slow smoker is a great accessory. The only reason I'm not using my slow smoker now is, admittedly, I store it indoors, and I was too lazy to walk to the other room and pick it up. So I'm using the included hickory chip reloader, which works great. Again, subscribe, check out my Masterbuilt electric smoker video playlist, and see that piece in action. So you don't have to get the slow smoker, but if you want to have your hickory chips or apple wood, whatever type of chips you're using, to produce smoke longer before you have to replenish. With this loader, I typically replenish chips about every 30 to 50 minutes once the smoke stops. I mean, it's still smoking now, so I don't have to replenish them until that stops. And even if you take a gap, say that you're doing something, you're mowing the grass, you're washing the car or something, and it takes an hour or two, and you don't replenish the chips, it's not going to matter, because the chips, I mean, all they're doing is adding wood smoke flavor to the meat. So in all sincerity, with a pork butt, what I'll do, I'll replenish the chips because it takes about 24 hours. So I'll do them, I started around noon the day prior to when we're going to eat it, and I replenish those chips about every 30 to 45 minutes. When I go to bed, I don't. But see, if you're using the slow smoker attachment, you could just have that running, because typically it produces smoke for about 6 hours. So what you could do, and what I may even do today, when it gets later, I may just plug in my slow smoker so that I've got another 6 hours or so of wood smoke without having to reload it every 30 to 55 minutes or so. So this thing is super convenient. As far as design's concerned, I mean, it's perfect. When you see the smoke coming out here, this video is in 4K, crank up the resolution if you haven't, but the smoke's coming out here. But one thing that Masterbuilt's done an exceptional job with, especially at the price point that the smoker's at, I don't see smoke escaping around the door. So they've done a very good job, in my opinion, sealing the door. And if you've researched electric smokers, and that's probably what you're doing since you're watching this video, you've probably found a lot of people complaining about air gaps that smokers have, and a lot of people have retrofitted electric smokers to reduce the air gaps. I've never had that problem with this. This electric smoker is 100% factory. I haven't modified it in any way, and it's it's doing a phenomenal job. And you know, like I said, subscribe, check out my Masterbuilt electric smokers video playlist, and check out all my videos. I mean, I've smoked everything in this, even cheese with the slow smoker attachment. So let's open this sucker up. This is controversial, but I do use 100% apple juice sometimes to spritz it. Look at those butts. This isn't even necessary because the water pan provides excellent aromatics and moisture control, but I had some 100% apple juice, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to spritz it periodically and even further enhance the flavor profile of the smoked pork butts. So realistically with these, and that's one of the value adds of electric smoker versus traditional smoker, you get the temperature where you want it. In my case, I like to smoke it around 225 degrees Fahrenheit. Because it's electric, the electric heating element maintains that low and slow and consistent temperature, whereas traditional smoking methods, you know, with a charcoal-based smoker that has hickory that you're tossing in, you've got to continuously add charcoal and hickory to keep the temperature where you want it and that's time consuming. Also, from a financial perspective, you're typically consuming a lot more resources in the form of charcoal and hickory. This electric smoker uses a minimal amount of wood chips per smoke, and I just keep a ton of wood chips in here. For this 24-hour smoke, I probably won't even go through a third, maybe just a fourth of this container of wood chips. That's how efficient it is. And I mean, the flavor is great. You eat it, you eat the smoked meat, you can smoke vegetables too, but you eat it and you're like, man, this tastes wonderful. And to realize that all that it took was a minimal amount of wood chips, and the heat was maintained by way of electricity, it's just a no-brainer. I mean, I've been smoking since the old, get you an oil barrel, cut it in half, make your own smoker out of that. I've been doing that. So this is just next level good and convenient and super affordable. So I could go on, and that's probably what you want. You're watching this video, you're already getting hungry and you're getting excited to buy one. Maybe you're already expanding this video's description and clicking the link there to buy it. If not, subscribe to my channel, check out my Masterbuilt electric smokers video playlist, watch all my videos. At this point in time of filming this, I think I may have 100 or so videos, but I've got thousands more videos coming soon. So subscribe and ring that bell. I mean, I absolutely love this thing, and hopefully I get a few more years of use out of it. You know what? If it died this year, the return on investment, the ROI, in my opinion, has already been exceptional. Because like I said, I haven't had to buy the excessive amount of charcoal. I haven't had to buy the excessive amount of hickory or whatever type of wood. So from a cost of ownership perspective, it's very minimal, and that's important. But if it dies, so be it. It's very affordable. It's still affordable even with inflation. It hasn't gone up too much. So, if I have to buy another one this year or in a few years, if this one dies, so what? Hopefully I get more years out of it, but at this point in time, I feel like I've gotten more than my money's worth already. Just the quantity of phenomenal meals that I've smoked in it. So, you got questions, comment below, and I'll try my best to answer in the form of a follow-up video. I like to film these videos. I like to cook. I like to smoke. I like to eat. See, I'm fat. Got to lose some weight. But I'm not going to stop eating, man. There is no reason to refrain from excellent cuisine. I cook it. I eat it. I exercise. Sometimes I eat more than I exercise. But that's a good problem with this. I mean, it's phenomenal. Great food. Better than anything, in my opinion, than you can get out in a restaurant. Unless you're going to one of those snooty, what they call them, those fancy chefs or whatever that have all the fancy titles. Now, I mean, that stuff's hard to compete with. But your standard barbecue, go to a barbecue joint where nowadays you're going to spend a ton of money, you're going to spend a lot for a tip. This right here, I was talking about ROI, return on investment. Imagine how much money you can save after smoking your own, in my case, pork butts, Boston butts. You got tons of pulled pork. You can make chili out of it. You can make sandwiches. You can just eat it on a plate. Feed an entire family on the cheap. So that's where the ROI, return on investment, comes into play. Imagine if you weren't smoking your own pork, smoking your own stuff, how expensive, how quickly that would add up going out to eat. You got to factor in the gas to and from. You got to factor in the inflated price for the food. Then you've got to tip. You don't have to tip, but if you don't, you're a complete jerk. So think about it. Tell me what you think. Be sure to subscribe, ring that bell icon, and comment below, because like I said, I'm always looking for ideas for future Chef IrixGuy smoking barbecue videos. So ask any question you got. I'll try to film a video. Appreciate your viewership, and thanks in advance if you're shopping for an electric smoker, any of the accessories, for expanding this video's description and then clicking the links there. That really helps to support my channel and videos like this one. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and when you do, ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.